Children of Eorzea, Days Ahead, Fingers, Nitroid, Apache Smash. Wolves are howling at our gates, but you must rise above and give an interview to Jason Charles Miller. Therefore, the warriors of light will rise and protect the realm.
Hey, I'm Fingers.
Yo, it's Apache Smash.
Hey everyone, this is Days Ahead.
And I'm Nitroid. You're listening to the Kojima Frequency.
It is officially, oh my god, it's been, 1 month after MGSCON?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I did 4 conventions in a row, starting with MGSCon.
Mm-hmm.
Because the week after MGS was San Diego Comic-Con. The week after that was, of course, FanFest. And then the week after that was Gen Con.
Wow.
In Indianapolis. So
back to back, man. That's rough on you.
yeah, and then for some reason I decided to have a party the next weekend. So it's really like 5 in a row. This weekend I ain't doing anything.
Yeah. It's like all you got is a podcast. We should be fine.
Yeah.
I was really checked out after MGSCon. I definitely couldn't have done 3 more conventions.
Yeah.
I just can't handle the lifestyle.
Oh, I'm bummed. I left MGSCon early because, I mean, not super early, but semi-early. I left before the dance party broke out.
Oh, you missed my DJ set, bro. Oh.
Well, what happened was, and I don't, look, it was a first-year con.
Yeah.
But what happened is they moved the costume contest to right in front of my booth.
Oh.
So all of a sudden,
geez.
like I was kind of trapped and I couldn't talk to anyone anymore.
Gotcha.
And everyone was just kind of standing in front of my booth with their back to me, watching the costume contest. And I thought, well, a lot of other guests have left already. It's probably okay if I leave now. And I went to the organizer. I was like, take a look here. It's probably okay if I leave. But then I saw some footage later of the dance-a-thon, and I was a little jealous.
Yeah.
I had some FOMO leaving early. So next year I will not leave early.
I definitely wanted you to hear my, I have a mashup that's Rules of Nature and Dead Mouse, like Cthulhu's Sleeps track that he does. And it's just it just
cool.
turns that into this like really dancey, like electro version of it. And it sounds fucking awesome. People were getting down to it. It was awesome.
Nice.
I'll definitely send you that.
So I was waiting till that needle dropped where we were going to start talking about Rules of Nature.
Getting right into it.
Didn't take long.
Let's just get that out of the way right now.
I'm trying my best not to be a Final Fantasy fangirl right now. I got my FanFest coat on. I was gung-ho about today. I did see the sacrifice right before this interview. But I'm holding it back just because this is a Metal Gear podcast. But yeah, so for those who don't know, Jason Charles Miller, a man of many talents, is also known for one of the most iconic tracks in Metal Gear, the Rules of Nature song from Metal Gear Rising. I guess, like, where do we even begin with that? Like, did you expect this to kind of become a meme as it has?
No, and what's really crazy is I missed the height of it being a meme, like Rules of Nature goes with everything and all of that, because I think a lot of people didn't realize that it was me until later. And so I never got tagged in anything until much later. But I mean, I definitely enjoyed looking back at it and seeing all the videos people made with, like, the chorus of Rules of Nature and then like people smashing stuff or whatever, robots exploding, like you name it. So no, I didn't think it was going to be. But what's interesting is I also am the voice of Guy in the Street Fighter franchise, and he's another meme of profound sadness.
Yes. I just discovered that while I was doing my research. So yeah.
Yeah, so it ain't my first rodeo, I guess, as a meme.
Yeah.
The Rising one, that just took on a life of its own. Like, I mean, given that I'm like a huge Metal Gear fan, it was shocking to me that my kids were hearing about the meme, not from me, but from other kids at their school.
That must have been great as a dad.
I was just like, like, I never showed you.
You're like, I'm cool. I'm a cool dad now.
Yeah. They're getting a little too old to think I'm cool. It's getting harder and harder to hang on to that. But it's just crazy that they're getting it from other places and not me.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's everywhere.
And Rising is like a cool like jump off point into Metal Gear. Like if that's like your first entry, you're just like, hell yeah, you know, like it's this awesome action game with this badass soundtrack and stuff. And you're like, oh, okay, this was like one of the spin-offs. So, you know, like just going in, I have known people that they started with that, you know, and then they're like, oh, what's this other Metal Gear stuff? And it's just, you know,
it's just this like wild grindhouse thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
There was a post that went viral, like I want to say like a week or so ago, where this guy, he said he was on Tinder and he put his interests as like Metal Gear or something like that. And the girl asked, hey, what's your favorite Metal Gear? Mine is Metal Gear Solid 2. And he said, well, mine is Rising. And she like immediately unmatched.
Oh, no.
So
it's different strokes out here, you know? I mean,
Right.
I don't know. They should have given it a shot. You know, sometimes it's opposites attract out here.
I think it could have been beautiful.
That's what I'm saying. That would have worked.
Oh, yeah. It's so it's interesting to see how, you know, the game has sort of taken a life of its own, and especially in regards to the music.
Yeah.
I mean, MGSCON, you saw that, you know, the Rising folks had their own kind of space,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and folks really celebrated it. So were the folks at Platinum, like, I don't know, were they fans of your music, or were they like, how did that initial like connection work out?
I mean, it's been a while, but the best way that I remember it is that my friend Tina Guo, who is like now like one of the most famous cellists in the world, she recommended me for this, and Logan Mader from the band Machine Head already knew me, so he kind of gave the, you know, the thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got, and I think they sent me a demo with other lyrics on it. You guys know about this, right? That like originally it wasn't called Rules of Nature. It's sort of like a,
It was Locked and Loaded, wasn't it?
right. Yeah. So from what I remember, I believe I sang like a small portion of it as Locked and Loaded as my audition, sent it in, and then got the gig that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that sample's floating around.
Is it me, or is it a different singer?
Oh man, it's been a while since I've heard it. I think it sounds like you, but I feel, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel like an ass.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know which one it is, you know?
Do you have that like saved somewhere, Nitroid, or?
It'll take 2 seconds. It's on YouTube.
Mm.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying not to drop the Godhead name, but I was just wondering if maybe somebody at Platinum was like, we need to get that guy. So
It could have been. I mean, that's where Tina knew me from originally. And, you know, for your younger listeners, I was in a band called Godhead once, and we played the Ozfest in the year of 2001.
we're all born before 1992. So yeah, trust me, we're oldies. We get it.
But yeah, so Godhead was like our biggest years. We started in 94, but our biggest years were like 2000 to 2004, sort of like our height of popularity. So, you know, Godhead was already kind of on its decline, or maybe we had already stopped at that point of recording for Metal Gear, but people still knew me from that. Mm-hmm. You know, probably more so than they do today. Now everyone knows me as the Rules of Nature guy and the Final Fantasy XIV guy, which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah, it's not a bad rap sheet.
I guess I'll say it and get it out of my system, but I know you because of something else, which I'm a huge fan of, which is Vampire the Masquerade. You because you did like the promo for creating a character. When I first got into Vampire, because I got into it really late, I learned how to make my first character by watching you do it.
Nice.
And I love that game now. Like I run that game as often as I can, to be honest. And like Jason Call is like one of my personal heroes.
Oh, great.
I just like. So I mean, I'm not going to ask you what he's like because you're going to say he's really nice. Like, you're not going to be like, that guy's an asshole. So that's kind of like a dumb question. But I guess I'll ask: is he actually a vampire?
I believe he is. I don't think I've ever seen him in daylight. So do with that what you will.
These are the real questions.
Yeah, definitely some masquerade violations.
Yeah. So there's a show that I hosted for Geek and Sundry called Starter Kit, and each season was a different game, and season 5 was Vampire the Masquerade. And I know all of it is on Amazon Prime, but I'm not sure, are all of the episodes of learning how to play vampire now on YouTube?
There's only that one on YouTube, I believe.
If you have Amazon Prime, I think the whole season where we actually run through a campaign and then run through learning more of it, I believe you can find that on Prime.
I didn't know that, actually. I'm going to check that out because I do have Amazon Prime because I hate waiting more than a single second for something that I order.
Exactly. Same.
But you were also on LA by Night, which is like, so I played the Bloodlines game in 2020, and I was like, this is one of the greatest games ever made. I can't believe no one's ever heard of this. When obviously everyone else is over it, because that's how I kind of get into video games years after the fact.
Sure.
And so I just someone was like, oh yeah, it's a tabletop game, and I'm like, what do you mean? It's a video game. So I knew nothing about it, and I just searched on like YouTube people playing Vampire the Masquerade, and there's a like fully produced show called LA by Night, and you were on that as well, and you were a werewolf, which are super powerful and scary.
Which is one of the big reasons why I never came back, because I was always like, Jason, when am I coming back? He's like, if I brought you back, you would kill the entire party. And I'm like, okay. And good point. But Werewolf 5.0 is, now out. So who knows, maybe we'll do some streams of that as well.
I do have to say, you really do suit being a werewolf.
Thank you.
It worked. Well, definitely worked. Right, I got it out of my system. I got the Vampire Masquerade out of my system.
Awesome. Dude, honestly, when you said that, I thought you were going to talk about us commiserating on, like, listening to, like, the Queen of the Damned soundtrack in our teens, but...
Yeah, no, I'm not. Maybe one day, Jason, I'll tell you a cool story about that, but I know that track really well, and I'm not saying it on the show. Not doing it.
Oh, wow. All right. I mean, I'm glad,
All right, fuck it, roll among friends.
No, it's okay.
Oh, jeez.
I'm happy that, you discovered your manhood to that song. That's great.
How did you know?
How did he know?
I could tell by the tone.
Fingers cut that out.
All right.
No, don't leave it in. By the way, I got that locked and loaded track up in the live chat. If you did want to check it, it's time stamped right to when the lyrics kick in.
It sounds different to me. It sounds a little higher pitch, like register, but
I'll be able to tell you right away if it's me or not.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, let's.
My bet's no.
Yeah, once I heard it again, I was like, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the one that's floating around.
I mean, if that's the prototype they sent you, it wouldn't make sense if you were the one to have already sung it. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, but you never know if this is the one they sent me or if this was my audition.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hold on, checking it. I'm listening right now.
Cool.
Got it. Yeah, no, that's definitely not me. So that's either a demo singer or maybe it's the composer and like he melodied his voice in there or something. Yeah. Sometimes people do that. So definitive that is not me.
Cool.
Mystery solved.
Yeah, that's cool. They kind of sent you like a prototype track, and then from there you turned it into that. That's neat. Because I wasn't sure if that was like a pre-existing track before that you guys had done, and then they're like, "Ooh, we like this song. Can we use it in our game?" Or if it was more of the other way around. Kind of happens weird with video games that way. Sometimes they'll just like go to a back catalog.
No, these were all pre-written or for the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very story related with a lot of the stuff too. So it makes sense that that's the way it went down.
It kind of reminds me of like. I know with some of the Final Fantasy 14 tracks, they'll modify the lyrics in like the teaser trailer at FanFest, and then they'll readjust them. Like I think they did that for the Endwalker trailer. I wonder if it's going through the same process. I wouldn't know. But speaking of which, you did mention 14. we were
Did I or did you?
14 segue. Get there. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let her cook.
All right.
everybody needs to get something off their chest today. First and foremost, I know we discussed at MGSCon that you play Dragoon.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, man. I am like struggling right now. I just got mine to 80, so I'm trying to do like the Shadowbringers content, like raids and trials and things like that. And it's just been an absolute struggle trying to keep up my combos.
Yeah, right now I'm like level 54 and I'm just finishing A Realm Reborn. In fact, I'm about to fight, I believe, Gaius.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I just fought his his sort of, I want to say assistant, but like
His like simp assistant,
yeah, she's in all white armor. I can't remember her name right now.
Olivia.
It took me like 15 times. So yeah, being a dragoon is tough. It took me a long time to get to her, and then when I finally, defeated her, and then I saw that to fight Gaius was right after that, I had to stop playing. I was like, I need a break.
Understandable. You're definitely hitting the climax there. That particular dungeon with Gaius, me and Apache, we've done that like how many times, Apache?
Hundreds of times.
Hundreds of times.
All right, well, I might be calling you then for help because I don't think I can do it with these NPCs.
Yeah, if you need a party, these people they're playing all the time on there. So
I will be there no matter what.
yeah.
All right, awesome.
Birth of his child, he'll just whip out a laptop.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're talking about ARR. I know, and in Final Fantasy ARR, you were Raubahn,
Right,
and as far as I'm concerned, the man who swung the I want to talk about this, but I don't want to spoil the game.
You spoiled it for the person who said the words.
I'm so sorry. I'm not going to
so
spoil
funny.
it.
Yeah, you're not spoiling it for me. I know what happens.
He did have to say the lines.
Yeah, it's like you are him.
I've heard I've heard stories of voice actors like playing the game like 10 years later and they're like, I totally forgot what happened. But your Raubahn swung the sword at a specific character. So as far as I'm concerned, you are the real Raubahn. And I would love to be there when you see that moment, but
Thank you.
I know your time is precious, but we would love to help you with anything in 14. And eventually me and Apache are actually going to get married in that game, and we would love for you to come to our wedding.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I'll come.
Yes.
Sweet.
This was fun. This just went up to like probably my favorite episode we've ever done. It's not finished yet. All right. So you
This whole episode was just one big elaborate ruse to invite him to your wedding, wasn't it?
maybe. So you worked on obviously you've worked on World of Warcraft and you've worked on Final Fantasy 14. So for a start, like which one do you think's better?
Oh my God, don't do that.
Wow.
No, I'm just joking.
Right
I've got a nice. I won't ask you that. I won't ask you to say that. I've got a nicer one. You actually worked on like categorically the best expansions of World of Warcraft. So the new way to determine if an expansion for WoW is good is to see if you worked on it, and then if you didn't, it's bad. Because you worked on Legion and Wrath, and they're like without a doubt the best expansions, and no one will disagree with me on Earth.
I can't. I can't disagree on that either. And I know that he knows that we're not just brown nosing, because we talked about at Warcraft at MGSCon. And how if you're new in Warcraft, people kick you out of the fucking group. And if you're new in Final Fantasy 14, they will just, help you and appreciate you as a sprout.
Come to your house, do your laundry, send your money on PayPal, like check in with you every day, make sure you're okay. Like, yeah, no, people are quite nice in 14, I'd say.
They really are. Yeah. I love the support from the 14 community. They're pretty special. That being said, though, I have done some work recently for Blizzard on the music side, which is so I have a I have a project called Resodrone. With my friend Jameson Boaz, and we wrote and recorded 3 songs for Cyberpunk 2077. That was kind of our first release.
I love those tracks too. Like that's my jam. Like that just real like industrial heavy like electronic type. You know, with the metal influence. I was like, fuck yes. That whole soundtrack like as a whole was just killer,
that soundtrack
man.
is underrated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I try. I like aspire to make music that good. Like it's good stuff.
But what we've done most recently is Blizzard hired us to help promote Diablo 4. And so we actually did 6 remixes of the classic Diablo soundtrack score and remixed them lo-fi style. And they're all on the Diablo YouTube channel. They will be on Spotify eventually too.
Sick.
But so you'll have to check those out. I don't know why they don't call them Diablo-fi, but they call them
that's
Diablo Lo-fi. And there's 6 different videos from like 6 different compositions that we did, consisting of, so like each video has 5 remixes in it of different pieces from Diablo 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That's awesome.
So we had a blast doing that.
Are they more like from the ground up built like covers, or were you like sampling the original stuff and like adding stuff, or how did that? Or if you can't talk about it, that's fine too.
No, I can. We sampled when we could, but like the separated tracks from anything from like Diablo 1 and 2, they're just unavailable. They probably don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, those stems are gone.
So like hats off to Jameson, like on that Tristram song, he replayed the guitar.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. That's pretty much how you have to do it these days. Just like reinterpolate and just cover it pretty much.
Yeah. So later we were able to get samples from like 3 and 4, and then maybe MIDI files. I think we got some MIDI files, which certainly helped.
Oh yeah.
But we were on our own for a lot of it, and if you know anything about music, and you'll know the different levels of complexity that go along with that someone in the marketing department at Blizzard may or may not realize how complicated it is, but the music department does. So the music department was helping us every step of the way. And there are different music departments for every game at Blizzard. I mean, it's dizzying how many people are there.
Yeah, because it's like a whole taste and just a curated, sound. So it's just, different groups of people are going to excel better at different genres and stuff and what's needed. Yeah, it's like a brand management thing. Makes sense.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And then as far as Resodrone's concerned, we just put out an album's worth of instrumental metal music for a game called Gods of Metal Ragnarok, which is a role-playing game. And but as part of the Kickstarter promotion and bonuses, if they got to a certain level, we put out an hour's worth of instrumental music that you can listen to while you are playing the game.
Yes.
But as an added bonus, I got some like really established famous guitar players to play solos in some of the songs. So I got George Lynch from Dawkins to play a solo. I got Ernie C from Body Count. I got Robert Sarzo from Hurricane. I got all these like really awesome like metal soloists to solo over top of our songs. So that's
awesome.
It's not what people would necessarily expect from Resodrone, but it's a standalone thing that's super fun.
Yeah, that's awesome to be able to do that and just have these little side projects where like, this isn't what you normally might expect, but like, here's this though. And yeah. That's like the amount of music that you've put out and just the different genres and stuff. I mean, I've read like you kind of come from more like the country background of things and did some of that too. Like, yeah,
I've got several solo country albums out. Now my solo material is a little heavier again. It's more like Southern rock. Like when I tour, I have 3 guitar players, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, when Godhead had 7 albums, And when Godhead started to slow down, I wanted to do some solo material that was completely different. You know, I didn't want to stay in the same genre. I wanted to do something different. And growing up in the woods of Virginia, I kind of had a lot of this country music in me that I wanted to get out. You know,
what parts of Virginia? I'm in Richmond.
I grew up in Clifton, Virginia, in Fairfax County, which is close to DC, but it's far enough away that I had some friends that would never go to DC. I would go to DC as soon as I got my license. I would go to DC almost every weekend to see bands play.
I was about to say, were you at U Street?
Oh yeah. You know, in Georgetown and Club Asylum and the 930 Club and
there's tons of music up there for sure. Yeah, it's a good spot for
there was a place called Dante's, which then Dante opened the Black Cat, and I think the Black Cat is still there.
Black Cat is still there.
So, and also I like to point out, when I tell people I grew up in Clifton, they go, "Oh, you grew up rich." And I was like, "Oh, no. There were no rich people there then. Like, it was just woods. Our neighbors had pigs."
Oh my God. There's so many places in Nova you can say that, where you're just like, 20 years ago, this was just forest. Like,
apparently like it's like a haven. Apparently it's a haven for the mega rich now or something, but it isn't. It wasn't when I was growing up. I swear to God.
Kind of want to loop that back around to MGSCON, just being such a success. I know the cosplay contest pushed you out there. We did have to change rims for that because it was way too hot in the panel room to do the cosplay shit. That's what ended up happening. That's why that switched up on you. But other than that, man, did you have a pretty good time at the convention? I know you did the music panel with all those other composers. I mean, that was a real treat to listen to that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I had an amazing time. It was a great convention. The music panel was awesome, and it was amazing to be there, with everybody. And the funniest thing though was when the MC was listing off of Harry Gregson Williams's credits, right? And he was saying, like, he wrote music for The Rock, and like he was listing all these like amazing movies, but then the last movies he said, and he goes, and all 4 Shrek films, and then and then everyone kind of laughed, because you just weren't expecting that. And then I'm sitting next to him, and he goes, "Why are they laughing?" And I was like, because everybody loves. Because everyone loves Shrek. Like he thought that people were kind of laughing at him, and I was like, no, it's just everybody loves Shrek. Yeah. And no, I don't think anyone was laughing at him, but for like a split second, he was borderline offended, thinking that people were laughing at his credits.
It's just that
juxtaposition.
I was just saying that. It's the juxtaposition of The Rock, all this serious ass music, and then Shrek, and then this, everybody immediately thinks of like Smash Mouth, but no, it's like it's the score underlying, all that stuff underlying. That's actually really complex orchestrated music. Like.
Yeah, I think they were listening. They were like, he's worked on music, for The Rock, Enemy of the State, the Spy Game,
Metal Gear, and all
Shrek.
This stuff.
You know what I mean?
Guaranteed, there's a dude in the audience who thinks he wrote All Star now.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely,
yep.
Absolutely.
Him being able to compose that type of stuff as well as this serious, Metal Gear style music. I mean, that just shows his versatility, and the same goes for you, man. Between the Residrone stuff and just all these different genres, it's really cool to see all these like awesome musicians together on one stage giving a panel. So that was like I said, that was like a big highlight for me, seeing that all come together.
Thanks. Yeah. I was really happy to be there, and hope we do it again next year.
Yeah, we're trying. We're already getting the gears going on that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And hopefully the location will be. Am I spoiling it if I say the location will be better?
Yeah. Well, no, it'll be a cooler environment with more.
Here's the thing: living in LA as long as I have now, that is the location where all conventions start. Mm-hmm. Literally every convention starts in that hotel.
Yeah.
And sometimes they never leave, right? And then other times they move on to like the biggest convention centers in the world. So don't worry. Like that's where you got to start when you're in LA. So it can only go up from there. And it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. Yeah, we just had their like HVAC was just fucked up. That's like the literally only complaint that I pretty much heard from everybody. It's just like, yeah, we could have used a better AC and just it was kind of musty smelling.
Yeah, shout out to the industrial fan that was running, keeping that place tolerable.
Those two fans.
Shout out for whoever decided to put it beside our booth.
Yeah, I think it was a lifesaver.
Yeah, afterwards I've been saying like, oh yeah, it was fine, and we literally had the fan like on our booth the whole time. So
you're like, yeah, what's everybody complaining about? Gosh.
Yeah, dude. That entire DJ set, I just had to just keep taking off my headphones and just like turning around and just wiping my entire face with my shirt and then throwing them back on. It was getting gross up there.
Oh man.
Dude, you look like you ran a marathon.
That's how I was like, guys, if we do this in the panel room, we're going to have people fainting and passing out. And just like, that's how I was like, no, guys, we got to shift this over into the main room. And that,
yeah, Arthur would have been toast.
yeah, that's something you probably deal with a lot too, with just like crowds and doing all these touring things and stuff, just people getting too hot and passing out and
Oh yeah.
trying to take care of people, just at a convention too, everybody's been on their feet all day, everybody's exhausted and dehydrated, and then it's like rave time. It's like in a hot room.
Right.
What could happen next? So yeah.
Did anybody pass out?
No, I think had we done it in the other room, we would have seen that with the cosplays and all that. Like it was just way too stuffy in there. It wasn't enough airflow, but it worked with the fans in there, So I think I didn't hear of any injuries or any fainting or anything. So I think we're all clear.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I was gonna say that made me happy. I was like, I can't be responsible for this. That would make me feel bad if I just see people start dropping during it's like rules of nature collapse. Like
Thud.
Yeah. So no, that was a blast, man. Just playing all that Metal Gear music and just all the remixes and stuff over the years that I've made out there, and just that was like the coolest crowd to play that too. They all like really got it.
Oh yeah.
For such a big anthem like Rules of Nature, like just hearing the whole crowd just all singing on the chorus the first time around, I was just like, yes,
Yeah.
You're
making me so I wish I hadn't left.
Yeah,
but,
I'm editing the video version of it now. I'll have it like fully up. I'll definitely send it your way when it's all said and done. And I've got like multiple camera angles of people. They've all been like posting it in the group folder, so that'll be coming out soon. I'll definitely send that your way so you can check out those moments. Yeah, the crowd fucking loved it, man. They were, I wish you could have been there for sure, but I get it.
Yeah.
I feel bad now because I was one of the people that was like, I think it'll be okay if you leave.
Oh no, that's fine.
If only I had known, I would have stayed. But it definitely felt, I didn't know that was happening, and it definitely felt like, or at least maybe, I think someone told me that the costume contest was the last thing. So that's why I thought I could leave. But,
Gotcha. No worries at all, man. Like I said, I'm DJing next year too, so it'll be fine.
All right, sweet.
You were one of like the last guests to leave, so you can't feel bad anyway. Like loads of them left way early than you, so.
Okay, good. Yeah, I get Iron Man points.
I don't know, man. I did have a bunch of them on stage at that point during the DJ set. But then, no, a lot of people did dip, though. You're right. They left like right after that moment. They were like, okay, let's go. You're on the stage. Time to dip.
Nice. Well, I'm going to be streaming in about an hour every Monday and Wednesday. I do acoustic shows on my Twitch channel. Mm-hmm. If I'm in town, I stream from 7 to 9, Pacific time. And I do actually do an acoustic version of Rules of Nature if it's requested.
That's awesome.
Oh, dude, I would love to hear that.
Well, check out his stream. Yeah.
I mean, you can today.
Yeah, I'm going to hear that.
Tune in tonight. Come request it.
That is a thing I can do.
What's the Twitch channel?
It's Jason Charles Miller.
Okay,
yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely send people that way, and we'll put that in the description of the episode too.
Great.
Last Wednesday, I was pretty drunk because it was my birthday, which has no bearing on this show, but I happened to be chilling in your stream afterwards, and obviously like you're doing the requests, so I was like, oh, what songs can you request? And I'm like, half a bottle of rum deep at this point, and I'm looking through, and you've got like a really eclectic choice of music, but there's one song on there that like I didn't expect to see at all, and it's a song that I really love, and it's called Your Love by the Outfield. I'm like, no way does he sing this, I'm gonna request it. But I was so drunk that all I did was donate money to your PayPal. So I tried, but I was
You're
like,
sitting there going like, why aren't you playing it?
no. I was like, I've definitely done that wrong.
Yeah.
But like, that's such a strange song to have on your like repertoire for the request nights.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some interesting ones on there, you know, and people suggested a lot in my Discord. I have a Discord too, so if anyone on Discord wants to jump on over, I guess I can put an invite or something.
Yeah, throw it in the live chat.
Yeah,
We'll include it in the episode description too if you want.
great. Yeah, I'd love to get more people in there.
Yeah,
certainly.
Discord's great for just music stuff and just promoting and just getting to know your fans and chilling and stuff. It's great.
It's like a weird one-hit wonder because like they're an English band, but everywhere they played in England, people were just like, "You sound like Journey, fuck off!" And then they went to America and became massive. They had a one-hit wonder only in America, though, right?
Right. It was a song on Rock Band, and it was the first song that I sang on Geek and Sundry on Rock Band with Felicia Day, and so the song just always stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And that's why I added it to my list.
That now it makes perfect sense why it's on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I genuinely love that song.
Oh, cool.
So I meant to ask this, you have these stories about sort of networking, sort of more traditional artists with, more nerdy publications and endeavors for your music projects. Do you sometimes feel like a, for lack of a better term, nerd liaison when trying to talk to your musician friends about, hey, this is a project for this game, this is the significance? Or is it one of those situations where it's like a project is a project?
It's a little bit of both. If it's, I mean, I do definitely like to explain to people what it is, but like even explaining. So when I was a host on Geek and Sundry, even trying to explain what Twitch was to people, that now it's way easier because many more people know what Twitch is, but just explaining that to people early on was difficult. I'd be like, well, it's kind of like local cable access, but more people are watching it. Like it will be worth your while to do this, just stuff like that. And then with the way I would explain to people watching, tabletop role-playing games on Twitch, I was like, you know how like late at night on ESPN they show people playing poker and people watch that and people are like, yeah. I go, it's kind of like that, but we're playing Dungeons and Dragons instead. They're like, oh, okay, I think I get it. Of course now it's much easier to explain, like I said, because of the success of all of it. But yeah, or in early days, I definitely feel like I'm a nerd ambassador,
Yeah.
That's a better name for it, nerd ambassador. Yeah. Because it's an interesting position to be in. I mean, I'm a fan of folks you've worked with on sort of both sides of the I'm not thinking up good terms today, but I just see your repertoire and how many folks you've worked with both on sort of like the normie side and the nerdy side. And it's interesting kind of being in the middle there, right? It must be a fun position to be there. So yeah, nerd ambassador sounds good to me. Yeah,
it's cool. And then, sometimes people from the music world will discover me kind of like on that show Starter Kit. I have a few friends that I only know from the music world that were like, I came across this video and all of a sudden you're hosting it and I didn't know what I was watching. And you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty cool when people that only know me from one section of their lives discover me in another section,
I mean, like, for me personally, I'd pretty much known you from, the Metal Gear stuff. And then, they told me that I haven't played too much of Final Fantasy XIV myself, but, they told me how much you had done with that. And just, I was looking at all your credits and I was just like, damn, man, this guy's been involved with a ton of shit. Like, it's really impressive, man.
Yeah, dude, we're here talking about video games and you've toured with like every band I grew up with.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I guess the main thing is luck, right? It's like I feel extremely lucky And I mean, of course, you have to be prepared when the luck comes your way.
Yes. Yep.
But it's such an intangible thing that it's so hard for me to explain to people how things happen for me. And I think that what it is if you do a good job and you show up on time and you're a pleasant person to work with, like things eventually will open up for you and things will start to happen for you in the field that you want to work in. And it all happens at different times and it's all very intangible. But like, for example, if you were to ask me how I got the remix job for Diablo, it's not through my voice acting at all. It's not because I worked on Diablo 3 or worked on World of Warcraft. It's because the woman at the marketing department at Blizzard, who's only worked there for a year, I worked with her on a web musical 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Called Muzzled. And she knew that I could do this job. And so therefore, when the idea of doing the remixes came up, she called me first and asked if it was something that I could do.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't audition for it. You know what I mean? I didn't it was all because of other work that I've done before. So like, that's what, if you want to, and I know that no one's asking me how to work in this business or whatever, but if you want to work in the entertainment business, that's kind of how it is. You just have to sort of get out there. And, the web musical we did for almost no money. It was a project that I did on the side, but that begat other work. And so, if Tina Guo hadn't have recommended me for Metal Gear, I probably wouldn't have gotten that. And if I did audition for Raubahn through an American agency, but then, they switched the entire cast to England. They wanted to have for the English speaking cast, they wanted them to be, more British sounding. So they recast the entire game. But that same agency also knew that I was a singer. So when they were looking for American singers, they recommended me again to the music department this time. And that's how I got it. So once again, they didn't know that I was the music department that hired me to sing Shadowbringers did not know that I was Raubahn until they already recorded me and the song was out. And thank God, because maybe they would have been like, well, you were Raubahn.
Oh no, I'm so glad that didn't happen.
We don't want Raubahn singing this, actually. That might be a little...
or you were the old Raubahn and you're not Raubahn anymore. So, you know what I mean? So like, I kind of like, I don't ever bring that up to Yoshi P or anything. Like, what I mean?
We're just going to leave that one.
Not that me and Yoshi P are always hanging out, but you know what I mean? Like, if I see him at events and stuff, I'm not going to be like, hey, isn't it funny? I'm not bringing that up.
Don't draw attention to that. Just let it ride.
Yeah, exactly. And that's sort of like their thing. And now everyone knows and they joke about it a little bit. You know what I mean? And the fans certainly know. Like even at FanFest, like people brought me Raubahn things, which is really nice, and really cool. But I guess in conclusion, like what I'm saying is just like, doing the work and just putting yourself out there is like 90% of it. And then the other 10% is luck, like it's almost all luck once it gets down to what jobs you get, but then you've got to have, it's like, what do you do with that luck when you get it? I guess is really
and that's what you said. Like you have to be prepared when that opportunity comes around, and like they're like, hey, we need you for this, and like, can you do it? And you're like, yeah, like I can pull off that track or whatever, and just like the whole networking side of it. I mean, I just heard you list off. It's like, oh, and then this person knew this person, they knew that guy, and so they brought me in. It's like that seems to be a huge element to it too. That I've kind of found in my own, trying to get into the industry stuff where I'm just now talking with some people in LA and like submitting tracks and stuff now. So it's definitely, I agree and subscribe to that. It's like, just being consistent and being likable and easy to work with and that type of stuff. I mean, I've probably got over like 50 Metal Gear tracks out on my YouTube that I've just done remixes or covers of. I've just gotten those network connections nice and healthy now to where, you know, they do like to work with me and they help me out on my music projects and stuff. So I'm just now starting to, you know, get the official side of it now too. And I did like Contra remixes for them, and like, you know, they sent me like the official files before the game came out and got the stems and shit. So
awesome.
They've been really fun to work with on that side of things. But yeah.
That's great. Well, I mean, look, so the reason I wrote the theme song to Critical Role, right? Because we were all voice actors together. And Matt told me about how they were going to do this show. And I did the song for free. I didn't know the show. None of us knew they didn't know the show was going to become that big. Yeah. No one knew. Yeah, they're like, we're just going to try it. And I said, do you need a theme song? I've got this sort of like fantasy theme in my head that I've had for years that I've always wanted to like apply to a show. And he was like, go for it. You know, and the next thing you know, it's the theme song to Critical Role for the first campaign. Then Sam approaches me and said, hey, I kind of wrote some lyrics over top of it, which turned into Your Turn to Roll. And then they sell their cartoon to Amazon Prime. And then the composer uses pieces of my two themes all within the score of Vox Machina. So now I'm the co-writer of the theme song of Vox Machina.
Hell yeah.
And have all these score credits. You just never, but I could have done that song for them for free and the show could have gone nowhere.
Yeah. But that's, sometimes you just gotta, I mean, just putting yourself out there and doing things on that, you know, on that free level. And I can bang out this track in a day or two. Like, sure, I can knock that out and just send it, you know, it's just this fun. That's another thing. It's really cool that we get paid and or opportunities because of something that we, at the end of the day, fucking love. You know, like that's, most musicians really are like, we love doing this shit, and it's, to get opportunities because of it. And then just, oh, okay, you need this song. And now, oh, this is the theme song for this whole Twitch channel. Every time this person goes live, like, you know, I've had tracks like that I've commissioned for like Pat Stares At and, you know, like big channels like that.
Yeah. See, it's killer. That's killer.
They use that for a while and that just ends up sending people my way. And they're like, oh, who's this Fingers guy? You know, and just, it's definitely just putting as much stuff out there and having that body of work, I think is super important. And then people can just look you up and they go down the rabbit hole that is Jason Charles Miller. Go, damn, this guy's recorded a shit ton of stuff. Like, so, yeah. And then on the gig side of it too, with, you know, voice acting and doing the, you know, the music for games and stuff. I mean, they can hear what you're capable of immediately. And, you know, they've got those briefings where they need, you know, a certain sound and you're like, all right, I got it. You know, and here's an example of that. And it definitely seemed like Rules of Nature was like a good fit for you. Like when that came around, you're probably like, oh, I got this. Like,
yeah, for sure. And then I saw someone put the Family Jewels cover in there. So Family Jewels is like a big YouTuber, and he asked me if I wanted to do a cover of Rules of Nature, which I thought it was weird because it's kind of like covering yourself.
Yeah.
But
he just didn't want to get copyright striked.
But it was fun to do that,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
with him and make a video for it and everything. And the fact that people are rediscovering the game now, you know, and someone told me it had its biggest month last month or something
on Steam. That probably checks out. Yeah.
Yeah. It spikes pretty regularly, just out of nowhere, suddenly selling 1 million of them when the memes make the rounds again.
Funny enough, I've compared it to Final Fantasy XIV calamities, and that they come, you know, sporadically, and they tend to have an elemental catalyst to them. So, yeah, it comes in peaks and waves.
There you go. Yeah. Well, guys, I got to go. I'm so sorry. I got to get ready for my stream, and I have another call in just a minute here. But
no worries at all, man.
Thank you so much for having me. Any final questions or thoughts or anything?
I need to DM you for your Warrior of Light info.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
And if you want to plug just any of your socials or any other stuff that you've got either coming out or anything, you know, we let normally people do that at the end of the show, you know, just any plugs or projects, you know, you want to talk, you know, just say for people to check out or.
Sure. Well, I have an album that just came out in May called Cards on the Table. So that's just under Jason Charles Miller. And luckily, everything but Twitter is Jason Charles Miller. Twitter or X is Jason C. Miller, but I'm really easy to find. And, jump in my Discord, send me a message anywhere, and I'm usually pretty good to respond.
Awesome. Let's see. What would be? Can we do one cool thing? Maybe like a voiceover thing. Like you maybe like say because normally we do like an intro on the episode where like someone will say something in the voice of the character and like kind of be like, fingers, Nitroid, Days, and Apache. I need you to do the, like basically we normally say like we need you to do an interview with Jason Charles Miller. However you want to do that. If you're cool with it. If not, it's no big deal.
Children of Eorzea, Days Ahead, Fingers, Nitroid, Apache Smash. Wolves are howling at our gates, but you must rise above and give an interview to Jason Charles Miller. Therefore, the warriors of light will rise and protect the realm.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah, old doll baby, let's go. Immortal Flames.
Dude, I just got chills from that. Holy crap.
That was awesome.
I'm calling it now. Best episode.
And I sorry that wasn't from Metal Gear, but I don't voice anything in Metal Gear other than the song.
It don't matter.
No.
Oh, you're the man, Jason.
It's amazing. Thank you.
Such a blast talking with you, man.
Yeah, thanks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it. Have a good night. We're definitely checking out the stream.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.